Sorry, you couldn't hear me, could you? Yay! Sorry about that. Yeah, I was just saying that this track, I think I remember you saying in your email that you've signed this to HTE, if I'm not mistaken. So Nick's taken it, which is awesome. It's such a great tune. It's kind of like, oh no, not yet. Okay. Well, hopefully he will. I can't see why he wouldn't. I love this. I love it. It's kind of like in that halfway place between psytrance and uplifting to kind of banging trance. Yeah. So he wants it, but you're waiting for the rights. Yeah. I mean, even if you can't get that cleared, that sample, you can cover it. You put something else in. That track's amazing. Really nice progression on there. It wasn't moving around too much. You know, you were letting it breathe. There was a bit of movement, but not too much, so it lets you enjoy the pace of it a lot more. But yeah, really nice. Simple, but very well executed. What's the word? Evolving of your sounds. Great counter melody. Nice simple sounds in there. Stylistically what you would expect from this kind of genre. But yeah, and arrangement was really nice as well. I didn't feel like it was I didn't feel like it was moving too fast, and I didn't feel like it was dragging along. So yeah, arrangement is so important, as we've mentioned before. But yeah, I'm really proud of you. Such a good tune. Well done. And I hope you get it cleared. Thank you for sending it in, mate. And can everyone please go and follow Chris, please? What a legend. What a legend. Thank you, mate. Next, Mr. Hello, Scouse 606. How you doing, mate? Is that who's Scout? Gaz A. Yeah, I remember now. I've just followed you on SoundCloud. Welcome in, mate. Welcome in. We've got one of your tunes in a bit as well. DJ Mr. is next. That goes there, that goes there, and then that goes there. Okay, so here we go. This is DJ Mr. And this is a track called Say When.
Say when.
Well, I assume by the threat removal on your bases today, I ought to be scared, right? I have a dark and unpredictable side to me.
We all have monsters inside. Not like this.
So dark that it is hard right to tear your head off.
You have read it to me! Say when.
Okay, so that's DJ Mr. and Say When. I could go on about like subjective things here that I would do, where I would like the main thing that I would do is I might change the bass line from that because it's all on that root note, but I absolutely know why you haven't done that, because it would change this kind of relentless forward motion of this track, and it would take away that essence of what this style of hard house is. So anything that I would say in terms of changing it, like in terms of musically, that's just a me thing. I can hear a lot of work has gone into this. There's so many like little details in there, and you are able to keep the energy up and switch up the energy within the time that this track was playing, which is everything. You had a really cool breakdown and then this crescendo back into the drop again. I loved that as well. The only thing that is holding this back is it needs a complete new mix down. Do you use anything on the master when you are doing mix downs? Are you using a limiter is the main one that I want to know. What's on your master What's on your bus groups? Yeah, some very good hooks in there. Well said, Nath. Because I've got a feeling what's happening is you might be mixing into a limiter, and that is going to be clouding the sound, the shaping of the sounds, and stopping you from getting a really clean sound on this. Because it sounds quite boxy in areas, and it sounds like it could be fuller. Maximus, you're using Maximus. I would recommend that you don't use that on your, especially when you're mixing down. Don't use anything like that, because you need to hear everything. Maximus multiband maximizer. Yeah, I understand why you'd want to use this. And again, there's nothing wrong, but I think that you could definitely learn something by not using it, and then being everything you do in music production should always be comparing A to B. Bounce it down. You do another mix down of this specific track without using Maximus. Go back in and do the whole mix down again without using Maximus at all. And then if you want to do your own mastering, then do it at that point, because there's no... I know I asked you in the chat, is this mastered or just mixed down? And you said you've done your own mastering. I think that we need to recognise as music producers sometimes how intricate a job mastering can be, and if we don't sort it out in the mix down, there is no point in going on to the mastering stage until the mix down part is done properly. And I don't think that you would be able to get a proper mix down if you are pushing everything into something like Maximus. And what Chris says there as well, I don't do my own mastering. I send mine off once I've done my mix down. And once I've done my mix down, I don't expect a lot of work needing to be done with the mastering side of things either. But what it does do is psychologically take it away from me. It stops me from having that thing. Sideminder is great. Yeah, I use Sideminder. Sideminder is really good because it doesn't let you overdo it. So, Ozone 8, Dynamic EQ. Yeah, those things are great. Those things are fine. But the main one is just take off this maximizer. I think it's kind of like a crutch that producers have to, get this big sound really early on, but it's ear fatiguing as well. Like if you have that on from the get-go, not only can you not begin to hear and train your ear to be able to hear the transients and things that are clashing because of pushing everything into a limiter, it's robbing you of that part of growing as an artist. So just give it a go. Yeah, just give it a go. And don't expect yourself to be able to do the mastering. You're expecting far too much of yourself. You're doing the one thing that is the most important thing, right? You've got some fucking amazing ideas in that tune. Like the creative aspect of music is literally the most important part. You've got that down to a T. Anyone can learn to be an audio engineer. Anyone can fucking learn to use a DAW, right? Anyone. If you stuck yourself down there and did it for enough hours, you'd learn what everything does. The real je ne sais quoi, the real artistry comes from creative ideas. And you've already got that. So I don't want you to forget that that's where your That's where your heart needs to be. That's where your time needs to be spent. Mixing and mastering are hard, but I don't know. I like mix down. I like doing my mix down. I don't find it that difficult. But then again, coming up with, sometimes I struggle with like creative ideas. Sometimes I struggle with how I'm going to implement an idea that I have up here and get it down. So everyone's got like an area where they're better at doing things. I think for me, mixing down is like, oh, I'm glad I'm at this stage now because it means everything else has been done. Mixed down can sometimes be a pain in the arse if you keep going back and you're adding more things as you're mixing down, because then there's no point. And I even now leave EQing anything until like right near the end. If it fits without having to go in and do any top and tailing or any possible surgical EQing or dynamic EQ, if it's starting to sound good already, it's going to sound fucking amazing once I go back in and start shaping all my sounds and all the rest of it. But I wouldn't be doing corrective stuff early on, because it means to me, oh, that's not the right sound. It's not what I'm supposed to be spending my time on. Hi, John. How you doing, mate? Hi, C. James. But everyone's got their own way of doing things. So DJ Mr.MR says, I will try it without Maximus. I just use it because of watching tutorials. I get it. But these are quick fixes. And ultimately what's going to happen is after a while, you're going to reach a plateau and you're going to say, why can't I get my stuff sounding like X, Y, and Z? Because there's only so much that there's only so far you'll be able to take yourself with it, because you're not training your ears. There aren't any quick fixes with any of this at all. I mean, there are, but you need to know what's going on. You need to know what that limiter's doing. You need to know what these plugins are doing that we use. Soothe, Nectar, Endless Smile. Know what it is that they're doing to that sound, and know how to reverse engineer that and do it yourself, because then you've got ultimate control then. But like I said, you have the main part of being a great artist, which is these ideas, and no one can teach you that. That's you. So you should be really proud of yourself. Mr. Mrs. says, I already think that. Not sure how to make things clean and crisper. I would do two things. Well, three things. Number one, don't use the limiter and see how that changes things. Two, samples, as in it's down to the source audio that you're using, about having things that are crisp, clean and crisp. I honestly think that this issue will sort itself out by not throwing everything into a limiter. Also, if you're using bus groups, go and have a look what's on the bus groups as well. Try and use very minimal processing early on in the track as well, and try and learn, like, especially with samples, maybe instead of just using volume envelopes, use filter envelopes as well. Try using release instead of adding reverb to stuff, because that can add like a bit of a releasey kind of a sound. Yeah, exactly what Christy said, don't over process everything. Not everything needs compression. I very, 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 very rarely ever use a compressor. Like, the only time I have used a compressor recently might be on an oscillator on Avenger on a bass layer to keep things balanced, and it wouldn't be over the full bass, it would have just been on one of the oscillators for one of the bass layers that I would be taming some peaks down on a bass progression. And that would be rooted into its own effects channel within that synth. And the only other time would be if I had a vocal that I had recorded myself and I was trying to tame any of the transients in there after, and I would only be using that compressor after I'd gone in and manually automated the volumes on each and every peak of that piece of audio first, because then the compressor isn't having to work as hard. But yeah, that could be something to look at. DJ Solar says, I compress basically anything I want, always up front if needed, or is getting lost in the mix. Cool. Please make sure you send something in, because I'd love to hear your music. Everyone's got their own way of doing things, and if it's working, then that's great. But if you feel like Mr. is, that there is something that they want to get better at, strip it back, change it up. This is why I'm not a fan of templates, because people buying templates and just using that as like their go-to way of music production, because you're not gonna learn why things sound the way they do, and you're not going to train your ear. Chris says, after watching Nick Cole's and Les work, they use very little processing. Yep. I learned so much about cleaning up my mix. Less is more. It's a bit like makeup with women or men. Men can wear makeup too. You can wear makeup if you like. Sorry, I'm being very sexist there. But it's when you start caking it on, it's no good. It's no good. Yeah. Use a template and reverse engineer it, but don't use it as gospel. Yeah, exactly. But this is all exactly the kinds of hurdles you're supposed to be having. Because this is the journey. This is it. Yeah. This is what we fucking signed up for, and you know it. It is. It's all about this constant battle of improvements, very, very minor improvements sometimes, and sometimes big revelations. Not often, not the longer that you do it, but sometimes. It's not about that end product, because you'll never have an end product. It doesn't matter what goal you set yourself. I want to make a track that sounds similar to this artist. You'll do it. If you sit there and you make enough tunes, you'll do it. Then what? There'll always be something else that you'll want to reach towards, or there absolutely should be. It's not about any of these ideals that we put on ourselves, then she'll kiss me. No, this is about the whole journey of it, and it's a never ever ending journey, and it's a fucking rabbit hole as well. So you're welcome, Mr. Honestly, just keep doing what you're doing, and the rest of it will all fall into place. But I honestly would recommend, number one, don't do the limiter thing. Number two, clean sounds will come from having a really good audio source in the beginning. And then I would also say, if you can get it sounding good in the track without having to start doing processing, you probably got the right sound in the beginning. But yeah, just keep going. We love you. Next up, we've got Gaz A, and this is The Box.
Obey me. The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die. Obey me.
Pain.
Yes, mate. That is Gaz A, aka Scouse, in the chat. So this is quite good that we played this one straight after DJ Mr.MR, because I know Mr.MR, this is probably a style that, you know, this is very similar to your kind of style. And we can tell the difference between the mix down on yours to the one on Gaz's track. So maybe you might want to have a chat with Gaz and ask him like his production technique, what he uses on the master, maybe how he gets things sounding clean. I think he's in the chat now. Scouse606, let's give you a shout out. Yeah, I really like this tune. Many reasons why I like it. Very, very clean sounding. I love the Arabian ad-lib vocals in there. I thought they were really cool. I like the textures in that. The acid line was great. The acid line really lifts it up, especially towards the end of the track. I loved the long reverb tails on some of the more set back effects one shots, and even some of those one shots even sounded like they were tonal, so they were playing along with that main melody as well, which was awesome. The hoovers were great. The hoovers were nice and aggressive. They had their place and I could hear them properly over everything else. And I also liked the harmonic fifth buzzy layer that you have over the offbeat bass line, because that in itself really, really lifts a hard house tune. So you got your root note bass, offbeat bass note, and then you had this second mid buzzy bass that was on the harmonic fifth, which again, that's a very cool hard house kind of a trick, because you think the bass is in and then you add that fifth and it lifts it even further, and as it's in a harmonic of that root note, it will all fit nicely. Sonically, nothing's going to be clashing and trying to fight for space, so you're not going to get any like phasing issues or anything like that, or very little anyway, and if you do, you're able to deal with it and maybe shelf EQ those layers if they need it. But again, those are the kinds of techniques that lead to a clean mix down. That's how you lead to a clean mix down, is by thinking of things in those terms, thinking of things mathematically, thinking of things in terms of physics, wavelengths. I didn't mean to say you need to be really good at maths. I'm shit at maths, but there is some maths involved. There's some understanding of music theory involved, even when it's not a key, it's tonal. So yeah, really liked it. Thank you for sending it in, mate. And guys, make sure you go and follow Gaz A, please. Yay! Awesome, mate. Next up, we have got Steve Bates. Masturbates. I'm sorry, you've probably heard that all your life, but I can't not say it because it's your fucking name. If I didn't say it, it would be in my head. Say it. Masturbates. Sorry, Steve. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Oh, you're new here as well. I should be nicer to you. I'm so sorry. This is Steve, everybody. Steve, is that you, Padman? Hi. Hello, Boski. Here we go. This is Steve Bates. And this is Fight For Us.
never giving up. I'm gonna fight for us. Don't give up, don't give up. Don't give up, don't give up. I'm never giving up. I'm gonna fight for us. This is all I ever wanted. Another summer night without a soul to trust. And you're all I ever wanted. Stuck like an earthquake, I made your heart break. I was the raining cloud. I made a mistake, tears like a blue lake. I know I let you down. I'm just trying to do the best I can with the parts that I got. Broken hearts in my head, finding diamonds in the dirt. I am with a fortune I lost. I know where we stand. I'm never giving up. I'm gonna fight for us. This is all I ever wanted. Another summer night without a soul to trust. And you're all I ever wanted. 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 Don't give up. Don't give up. I'm never giving up. I'm gonna fight for us. This is all I ever wanted. Another summer night without a soul to trust. And you're all I ever wanted. I'm never giving up. I'm gonna fight for us. This is all I ever wanted. Another summer night without a soul to trust. And you're all I ever wanted. 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 All I Don't give up, don't give up. I'm never giving up. I'm gonna fight for us. This is all I ever wanted. Another summer night without a soul to trust. And you're all I ever wanted.
There we go. That is Steve Bates and Fight for Us. What a tune, mate. What a tune. I love that vocal. I think you've used it in a really great way. It's a really nice, very current sounding, offbeat bass line, dance track. Nice pace to it. I like the homage to kind of Robert Miles feel that it had to it. It didn't rip it off, but it was a very similar progression. But it's one of those, this is a wasn't just Robert Miles who used that progression. It's used in many, many, many pop songs, commercial or otherwise. It's a really nice progression. It's the fifth, fourth, and then the first, isn't it? So it's one that's very recognisable, but it works, and I liked it. Yeah. Thank you, Robert Miles, for the inspiration. But yeah, like I said, it's a chord progression or a bass line progression that is not just that one tune. It's in loads of tunes. I liked it a lot. I like the offbeat organ sound that you've used for it. I've used that before in tracks like this. I like your kick and your clap relationship. I quite like that. It sounds like you've gone off the quantize. Or there's a nice kind of like slap back on a delay or a reverb.
Don't give, I'm gonna fight for us. This is all I ever want.
Nice click on the kick as well. Cuts through really nice. Nice hi-hat. Yeah. Really simple, clean really simple, clean percussion in that. Really nice mantra that you've used there, where that vocal is set back with, and it's washed quite a lot with reverb. Not keen on that snare. I will tell you that snare sounds like you're missing the transient off it, so I'm not sure if you've got some kind of like, have you got some kind of LFO tool, some kind of volume envelope on that? It sounds like it's not got the attack to it. Don't know what's going on with that snare roll, but it's such a minor detail. It wasn't putting me off enjoying the tune. And you've got a few effects in there, but nothing overpowering. And the mix down was really nice. Really, really cool. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Would I masturbate to it? I'm not sure. Possibly. Maybe. I'll let you know later. But yeah, I liked it. Masturbates. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve Bates. God, I wish we were friends at school. That would have been well funny. Wasn't there like a thing on TV? Captain Pugwash masturbates, and was it an urban myth? You are welcome, Steve, and I'm glad that you're a good sport. Hi Techno, ODK Techno. Hi Mahel. Semen stains, that was it. Or was it just a lie? Semen stains and masturbates. Was it just made up? Because I never actually watched that. I think I was a little bit too young for that. But yeah. Is it true? Hang on a second. Let me just do this one little ADHD tangent. What am I searching for then? What was the program? Captain Pugwash. Did Captain Pugwash have characters called Seaman Stains and Master Bates? ? One of the most interesting facts about Captain Pugwash is the persistent urban legend that the show featured risque character names like Master Bates and Seaman Stains. However, this myth has been debunked and no such characters ever existed in the series. Hang on. I'm just taking the very first thing that was said there. Hang on. Steve, this is your fault. Captain Pugwash, double meanings. Okay, I'm going to share the screen with you now so we can put this to bed. Look. Ready? Snope says, Captain Pugwash, double meanings. Rumour, the characters in Captain Pugwash had names that were sexual double entendres. That in itself sounds like a sexual double entendre. I'm sorry. Here we go. Captain Pugwash. False. The British Captain Pugwash animated TV series, which originally aired on the BBC between 1958 and 90, yeah, definitely before my time, thank you, is widely believed to feature characters with risque maritime names such as Masturbate, Seaman Stains, and Roger the Cabin Boy. In fact, the crew of the famous Black Pig ship included sailors with no such names. Present on board were Master Mate, whatever, Tom the Cabin Boy, and pirates Barnabas and Willie. I mean, that's bad enough. No character with the designation of seaman appears in this show. Oh, I wish it was true. What? Oh, this is unwittingly repeating a folk myth that had been passed down through generations of schoolboys. God. Bloody schoolboys. I'd stated that the dramatis personae included such nautical naughties as Masturbate, Seaman Stains and Roger the Cabin Boy, and that pugwash was Australian slang for a form of oral sex. What? Pugwash is Australian slang for a form of oral sex. Okay. Wow. So yeah, there we go. Mystery solved. Thank you again to Steve. Thank you for being a good sport, and we love you. Guys, make sure you go and follow Steve over on SoundCloud. Thank you. Wasn't Button Moon iffy also about the H, the chemical bottles in the background and the spoon for cooking up, etc.? Oh, yeah. Now that you mention it. Yeah. Maybe it's us, though. Maybe because we are corrupted in those ways. It's because we're seeing it in those ways. Maybe it was just very innocent and we're just making it not so. Do we need help? Probably. Are we going to get it? No. We're just going to carry on making music. Next up, we have got Boski. Lads. Boski is next with a track called Braced Condition. Is it Braced Conditioned? I think so. Here we go. There we go. Braced and Conditioned by Boski. What a tune. It reminds me very much of the tech trance stuff that I used to know and love back in the Dizzy. Something that I would have done, and again, maybe this is, I think half of what I'm going to say is subjective, but the other half of it is actually technical. You have a section, this lead sound that you've got. Da, 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 that. So I really like that. I really like that that lead chord that you have going on there. But I'm singing the in my head. That's where I think the bass progression should be moving with it, and it doesn't. Your bass line stays on that root note even when that lift of that melody goes dun dun dun. Now there's nothing wrong at all musically or otherwise to keep it on that root note, but I think you're missing an energetical trick there by not at least doing it every 8 bars maybe, and allowing that bass line, that rolling bass line, to go to match up with the melody. Or even something else that harmonically would work with that that melody line. Hi Wayne. Because it feels like the melody line's here, right? And then you've got your bass line under the it feels like the melody's trying to move and the bass is keeping it stuck there, if that makes sense. I'd like to see, hi Ross, I'd like to see that bass, even if it's just occasionally, have a flick up into that harmonic. Let's go back and have another listen. Sorry. So if I go back again, especially at the end of this bit where you change up the pattern of it, it sounds like you definitely should have the bass line matching and following that melody line. That bit there sounds off because you go da da, so you've got a da and da da da, so you've got a semitone up from each other, which is a discord, da 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 da, and that's what's causing that. It's only for a moment. That bit there, I'm just like, oh, I can't go with it, which is such a shame. But I get what you're saying. I preferred the bass static, felt grittier and more raw this way, which is what I wanted. When the bass moved, it became a bit too floaty. Are you sure, or is it that you're not sure how to deal with it, so you just left it? And I'm not saying that to be be nasty or anything. This is something that us producers do. If we don't know how to deal with it, we'll just leave it. And that's how it sounds to me, is you just went, I don't know where it needs to go. I've tried a few things, it didn't work. Even if you didn't want to move it to be following that melody line, you could do a high pass filter up and out into it, something that would disguise that discord of the semitones next to each other, because it does sound wrong for that. It sounds like it could be better. It sounds like there's got to be a note, even if it's just an inflection up. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this is the demo drop, though. You come here for feedback at the end of the day, so I didn't think that you'd have a problem with it. But I also understand that taking criticism can feel very vulnerable. So just take what you want from what I'm saying. I will not take it personally if you tell me to fuck off. It's not a problem. But personally, that little section there definitely could be more refined, definitely. Is it the chord progression into the Discord you don't like? No, all it is I do like the chord progression. It's the fact that there is a moment of discord between the relationship of the way that the melody line moves, because that resolving note, the one just before the resolving note, the one that's causing the tension, the dun, dun, dun. Hang on, let me get my... Da, da. It's that da before you go back into the da, da, da. So it's a semitone out. It's basic music theory, but it doesn't mean to say that means that Boski doesn't understand music theory. It's just that's stylistically he's just decided that he didn't want that. He didn't feel that is an issue, so it could absolutely be a subjective thing. Yeah, it's just that for that little section, I wanted to have an element of wavering danger. The idea is in the face of war. I love that. I get it, but because you got like this fill area where you're dropping things out, maybe you could even just drop out that bass at that point then, or even add some kind of like portamento to it. If you don't want to, it just needs some expression. It doesn't need to follow that melody line. There needs to be some kind of difference in that area of it, or even let it go down to a semitone below. Like, it doesn't have to be melodic sounding, but it definitely needs to change with that tension note that you've got there. That tension note needs to be mirrored in that bass. Otherwise, they are fighting each other. But if that's what you're going for, then you've done it. Yay! Hi, Tosspot. Awesome. Yeah, it's maybe this is my conditioning as a classically trained pianist, that things like that irk me, but it absolutely is your tune, and I understand that you're expressing this story behind it, which is great. In terms of everything else, that kick was beautiful, really, really nice. I liked the bass line. I did feel that it's missing something, though. Maybe an acid line would be really good in this, because it is 7 minutes long. And if you are going to be sticking to that root note for that relentless power and, keeping it feeling that in that way that you want it to feel, then there needs to be movement in other places. So adding a acid line would keep that mood there, but it will also lift and energize the next section or the next section, and also maybe even a switch up in the sound that you're using, that strings. Like in this section here, I'm going from 5 minutes, so we're into the second breakdown. So you're going back from, we've got it pounding here, we've got dun, dun. But then after this second breakdown, we've still got 2 minutes to go. I'd like to hear like a little, that's probably where the acid line would go for me. But yeah, I'd say it's like 95% there. I love it. I do love it. I think this is one of my favourite tunes that you've made. And I am being very hypercritical here, but I do think that it sounded like it needs something else to it. But again, that could just be my interpretation of it. All I'm going off is how am I feeling when I'm listening to it? Am I feeling like, as a DJ, oh, it needs something else, or do I want it to move on? Is it keeping my interest? But yeah, I guess those things can always be subjective as well. But it sounds really clean. That kick and the bass relationship is awesome. I love the weird little vocal effects that you've got in there. I think it sounds really nice. You're putting on the polish, not trying to fix something that's critically wrong. Yes, putting on the polish, not trying to fix something that's critically wrong. Critically wrong. Technically wrong, you mean? I mean, there's nothing like critically wrong about this tune at all. I just get excited because I hear what I would do to make things make musical sense for me. But I absolutely take on board what Boski's saying there about his vision for this tune, and that makes sense to me as well. So it's so nuanced, isn't it? It's so nuanced. Maybe I do just go on a little bit too much about stuff, but it's just because I get kind of like excited for listening to it. I mean, I guess that's why we like doing remixes of other people's work as well. So, but yeah, ultimately I loved it, mate. So thank you for sending it in. Have I told everyone where to follow you? I don't think I have. Here we go. Everyone make sure you go and follow Boski on Faculty One, which is Boski's record label, which is awesome. And again, thank you, mate. Keep up the amazing work. Next up, we have got DJ Hussler, and this is Angels Calling. Okay, so there we go. That is DJ Hussler. This is the first time I think that DJ Hussler has been on the show. Please make sure you go and give him a follow. I'm assuming it's a he. Again, I'm being very sexist today. But hi, DJ Hussler. I had to bump up my limiter on my desktop mixer channel. Let me just turn it off again now, because you sent in a very, very, very low in volume mixed down, unmastered audio file, which is fine because I can lift the volume a little bit, but I think it's good practice that if you're sending in a track to anyone, once you've done your mix down, if it's, you know, if you're still, you know, before you've mastered it, whatever, just normalize it, just get it to 0 dB or minus 1 dB, just so that it's going to be loud enough for people to hear it in relationship to other music. And it's not everyone will take the time to go and stick a limiter on it and bump up the volume or a gain or whatever. So just, this is like a last step when you're sending stuff to people to listen to as a demo, just normalize it. So I could hear something in the leads and I couldn't hear it exactly. That's why I was closing my eyes a lot and moving my ears around and moving myself around my room where my sub is and where my speakers are kind of triangulated on my studio desk, because I thought I could hear something that wasn't sitting quite right in terms of the frequencies. There was something in the leads and it was really bugging me, and it wasn't until we got to the end of it that I could hear it properly, because I could hear it when other elements weren't in. So if I just go back and play this to you. Oh, hang on, I'm going to have to put the limiter back on again. Hang on. Filters, open Pro L2. We're about +8. So I've just got I've got default on. I want transparent. I just want a transparent limiter on there. Now, it was around this bit I was like, I can hear something is clashing. It's really subtle, but I can hear it. I can hear it quite a lot because I've got studio monitors here and I'm a music producer, and after a while you'll just train your ears to hear stuff. I think that what's happened is one of the layers, because I've got a feeling that this has been made in quite an old schooly kind of a way, but one of these layers has got some frequencies that are clashing with everything else, and it's around this area. Now if we go to the end of the track, we can hear it a lot more. There. And I think what's happened is one of these layers is not following that change from da da to da da. One of them's staying on that first root note. Listen again. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? That bit's fine. And again there. So it's like we've forgotten to get one of those lead sounds to follow that bubbly one on the top's progression down again from da to da. So I would fix that. That's not a subjective thing at all. That's a technical thing that it was just sticking out to me. And it's such a shame because I really like this tune. So that's like, I had to get that out the way though first, because again, I'm excited about this tune. I really like the vocal. It needs a new mix down though, I'd say. It's quite a rough mix down at the moment, but again, like I said earlier about DJ Mr.'s track, it's got some great ideas in it. It's got some really, really good ideas in it. I like the arrangement as well. It is, I was going to say on the long side, but we're talking classic trance sounding here. So it's 7 minutes 30 long, which is fine. But we've just got some mix down issues, some volume issues with stuff. But that's it. When everything's kicking, it's sounding really cool. Yeah, the vocals, I agree, Happy Place Traveller. I think the vocals need to be louder. Because at the moment, this is another thing a lot of us do. We're not singers, a lot of us, but we make our riffs. We're like, yeah, fucking look, my riff's mint. So we put the riff louder. See here how the riff's drowning out the vocal. So one way around it would just be to like put the riff down in volume against the vocal, bring that volume up to be one of the louder parts of the track, or we could sidechain the vocal to that lead. So it would allow that vocal to bounce and to knock down the lead when the singy bit's there. You know, that would be a way to get around that. Yeah, the vocal definitely needs to be up front. This is just minor details. This track is done, nearly done, 95% of the way there, and it's awesome. I really like it. I don't know if DJ Hussler is here, but if you are, thank you for sending it in, and I hope that that's been helpful for you. But yeah, it's a really cool tune. Really, really nice. So thank you for sending it in. It's only because I get so excited when a track's like that near done. I'm the same with my own stuff. When I do stuff and then I'm like, oh, that'll do for now. And then I forget that I've made a tune. And then I'll go through all my projects and I'm like, oh, I remember this. But yeah, it's a good place to be when your track's at that stage, nearly done. But yeah, great. Thank you for sending it in. Now we've got LR, and this is I Need You Now.
I need to
There we go. That was a fade out tune. I want the full one, please, LR, because I am certainly going to be playing that in my Makina sets. I have been promising you guys a Makina set again for a while, but we will get that sorted out. I'm just getting some more modern stuff now. We've got Sparks as well, who sends stuff in here, who's also an awesome Makina producer. Now LR, I think from our conversation earlier, our emails, I think he's like 17, like along with Sparks is like 18. No, Sparks is 17 as well, so I think they're friends with each other. I think they know each other. If they don't, then they probably should, because I think they'd get on pretty well. But yeah, wow, mate, I'm so proud of you. This is so cool. And again, like as an old fogey now as well, I think it's absolutely needed and really, really good that you have a focus in music as a young person, because it is not easy being a young person in 2025. It really isn't. If you can get yourself a hyper focus with music, keep your head down, get out of trouble, keep out of trouble, you are always going to win. It's something that I feel really strongly about, along with the likes of people like Mark E.G. But we spend a lot of time helping young people, helping street youth, helping vulnerable kids to express themselves through music. Through music production, through DJing. A lot of, both myself and Mark do a lot in work with charities for that exact thing. So it's something that we're very, very passionate about. It's really, really important. And not only when you're young as well, but when you're older as well, it is. But like I say, it's particularly hard for young people growing up right now. So I'm just super proud of you. Please keep it up. I think this is an awesome tune, and what a cool thing to be able to do, to make music at such a young age. So yeah, make sure you go and follow LR, please, over on SoundCloud. That's Leo Robert. Thank you. When you're older, you just want to sleep. That is true. That is true to a degree. Do you know what I found though? Do you know what? I want to sleep sometimes, but I found that the more things that I do, the more energy my body makes. So at the moment, I'm going to the gym 3 times a week, sometimes 4. And I do think my body's making more energy, because it's like, oh, okay, you're doing that running around thing again. All right, weirdo. And then it's giving me more energy. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly like little Jay. Yeah, I'm feeling better now. Thank you, Happy Place Traveller. Do you know what? I'll even go as far to say that I know that I am feeling healthier than I did, you know, when I did my 90-hour live stream. So I am gearing up to attempt, and I don't even want to say attempt, I am gearing up to smash my own world record of the longest DJ solo live stream on Twitch, which is 90 hours. I am gearing up to smash that, and I know that I'll do it because I am even more healthy than I was back then. And that's down to smashing the gym, doing weights, eating even more healthily, knowing my body more, drinking more water, more crazy. Thank you. Oh, I didn't think you'd notice. Boo. I'm not crazy. Little bit. But yeah, so I'm going to be attempting to beat my own record again for charity. So yeah. But yeah, I think, you know, you do want to sleep when you get older. You are completely right. But yeah, I do. Going back to what we were saying, yeah, it's hard being a kid at the moment. So if you can do something productive and creative and express yourself in such a positive way, which could land you doing this job for years and years and years and years and years, then definitely do it. How did you stay awake for 90 hours? I didn't do any illegal drugs. I used meditation. I had an oxygen tank. I ate very well before, during, and a little bit after. I meditate, so I was getting my brainwaves in between the mixes to go into a lower brainwave state. So I was able to kind of switch off in between mixes, not fully sleeping, but enough to rest my mind. And if you get good enough at doing that, you can end up not ever needing to sleep at all. I don't recommend that anyone tries to do that, by the way. But it takes a lot of practice. And remember, I've had twins. I've had twin girls. And so I've had a lot of sleepless nights, and I've been a DJ for 25 years. But ironically, I fucking hate being tired. I can be very ratty when I'm overtired. But if I'm stimulated in the way of being on the decks and I'm getting my dopamine hit, which I do, like for me, my mental health is very intertwined with DJing and with music production. So yeah, I don't use up any brain power now when I DJ. If anyone's seen me do my DJ sets, I'm talking to chat. I am talking on the mic. I'm typing in the chat. I am fixing any issues that might happen. I'm having a drink. I'm mixing, talking on the mic. Sometimes on a step machine. But that didn't all just happen straight away. I just did it that many times that everything just went autonomous, and my brain just takes care of all of it without me needing to use any actual conscious brain power. Yeah, completely. It's just it's like breathing. It's literally like breathing is mixing for me. Like, it's obviously breathing is very, very automatic, but I'd say DJing for me is the nearest thing to that I can do. I don't think I'm good at other things when it comes to trying to multitask. Ultimately, I don't think humans are very good at multitasking at all. But if you do something enough times, how do you get the world to stay out of your space for that long? Ooh. How do you get the world to stay out of your space? I have a very helpful husband. So when I did the live stream for 4 days, I did it when the kids were at their dad's. So that was helpful. And then Guy would just bring me food and smoothies. I had a friend with me as well who was giving me back massages, and I was doing stretches and stuff. But yeah, you're right. Like, I would need to book out time now. I'm a much busier person than I was 3 years ago or 2 years ago when we did that for the first time. I've like, tomorrow's supposed to be my day off. Do you remember I told you at the beginning of the stream? And now tomorrow is gym in the morning, dentists. I've got a student in for 3 hours. Then we're getting the kids, and then the kids need to go to football practice, and then India needs to go to cadets. And my day tomorrow starts at 6:30 and it ends at 9. And none of that, oh no, one of those things is job related. Yeah. But that's supposed to be my day off. Now, thankfully, on Thursday, I've actually had one of my students who was in for 6 hours. He's actually rescheduled. So now on Thursday, I can get some website stuff sorted out. I need to go and have a blood test at the hospital. And I have some other mixed feedback that I need to send to one of my students as well. So I'm never ever going to have a day off. So I'll have to just like book it out. So yeah, it's busy, always busy. But I want to make time for these kinds of things. I am so adamant that I mean, I'll always have time for your art, all of you. I'll always make time for that. We've done this show now for years, probably like 4 or 5 years now. We've done the demo drop. And I don't make money from this show, but it doesn't matter to me that's not what I do this for. This is, to me, is like a way for me to give back to an industry that has given me 25 years of a job. So, I mean, Alice, everyone should get money for their time, but I do, but just in different ways. It's just some things aren't, this is what I'm doing now and I'll get some money back for it. That's not always how it works. For me, this is just something that I love to do. And I feel like it does inspire me to do my own music, or, you know, get to know you guys more. I get to sign your music a lot of the time, and I've helped countless people to get their track signed to record labels. And I still have people who I signed records from 20 odd years ago. One of them then got signed to Spin In, and he still checks in with me. Tom, his name is, and he's done so much stuff with his career. But that's my job, is that I can only take you so far. I can only do so much. We do have a small but consistent following here on Twitch. But I like what we have here. So it's really, it's something that I feel really passionate about, and I don't always need monetary, incentive for that. This is something that I enjoy doing. So yeah. But yeah, everyone deserves to get something for their time, even if it's what others view as a hobby. Yeah, I mean, this is a full-time job for me. And no one can do that for you, Alice, except you. You have to be the one that honours your creative time. You have to be the one that sets that. So it's actually a really good point, because especially with DJs, and I have 411 students now, and I talk about this a lot with them personally and in the group, on how to value your time as a DJ, and at what point are you able to start asking for money. And a lot of the time people feel like they can't or they won't, and then they get self-resentful because they're not feeling that they are being taken seriously and all the rest of it. So that in itself is quite a journey. But again, these are things that I am very passionate about, and I think after doing this job for 25 years and realizing that I'm not going to be here forever, I'm not going anywhere yet, but I won't be here forever. None of us will be. I want to impart that knowledge. I want to impart my experience onto others. I want to share that with my community. It's not about, oh, look at me, I'm on a stage and everyone's adoring me and I'm traveling everywhere and I'm on a front cover of Mix Mag and those things. I've done all that. This is about passing that baton musically to other people. And I really get a massive sense of, I get a sense of, I get a good feeling from doing that. A good feeling from it. It feels right. So yeah. But yeah, thank you everybody. Carl Cox is like 114 now. Yeah. And I think we're getting out of this age now of people saying that, you know, you can't be a DJ over a certain age. I certainly don't feel like that. I definitely felt a lot of, at points in my life, I think I got criticised for being a mother and still having a job as a DJ. I think that can be sometimes like, aren't you supposed to be a mum? Like, can you not be a mum and be self-employed and be superstar DJ? Like, what's all that about? There is some, you know, aspects of that, but I'd like to think that by continuing this job for as long as I have, that, you know, it shows people that you can do this as long as you want. Yeah, people can be dancing, DJ, but women, get back in the kitchen. Brilliant. I know, right? This is it, though. But there are people out there who people got real cross at me. Really cross. I remember once, years ago, it was my 30th birthday, right? It was my 30th birthday, and I went to Pikes in Ibiza for my 30th and stayed there for 4 days. I had a photo shoot there. It was really nice. And I put some nice photos of me enjoying myself in Pikes with my friends whilst DJing over there at the time. And some woman put on my picture, "Why aren't you with your children? You are so selfish. You don't deserve to be a mother." I was like, what? You know, when you just read something and you feel like you've done something wrong, like, first of all, I was like, wow. Like, and then I responded to it. I said, you know what? I'm going to keep that comment there. I said, I'm not going to delete it or anything because you've just made yourself look absolutely ridiculous by saying that. But yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird that, you know, how dare I have a 4-day working holiday, making money, you know, being a mum. You know, I shouldn't be doing any of that. I should be chained to the kitchen with a apron on. Yeah. You should have wound them up so the kids were kennelled and quite happy. Yeah, do you know what? I've done that before, Paulie Buffalo. Something similar, where when my kids were quite young, before everyone was like okay with DJs having kids who were women, I remember a few times people would be like, "Amberdoo, what are you doing here? Where's your kids?" And I would just go, "I've done it again. Oh shit," and then I'd run off. Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you so much for yet another epic demo drop. It's always good fun. And yeah, please keep them coming in. Keep all your music coming in, guys. Stay where you are as well, because we're going to go over and see Control 4. And Control 4 is he's also a music producer. He is also a mastering engineer. And he knows so many things. He told me he was on, so I'm just going to have a look for him, because it would be perfect sending you guys over to him. There he is. He's online now, because he'll be able to tell you stuff about music that I don't know. You know, this is why it's really important to have lots of people to send your music to. Every one of us has got something that we can impart in our knowledge in different ways from our own unique experience. Even you guys, you know, even if you don't feel like you're a teacher, everyone can teach. Everyone has got something that they are good at, and it's worth listening to. So I love you all very, very much. Please believe in yourselves, because I believe in you, and be yourself, because you are the best person for the job. Because there's only one you.